Good afternoon. My name is David Lane. I'm out here with Randy Shineman and Brandon Riddler. We're with Bulldog Rooter. Today's date is February 9th, 2017, and we're about to do a video inspection of the main line of 3028 West Euclid Avenue here in Spokane, Washington. I was called out here a couple weeks ago. The main line was backed up, and I got them open. We stuck a camera in for diagnostic purposes and found very large root intrusions all down the line. This line actually, 3028 ties into 3024, the house directly west of 3028, and it ties in about 60 feet from the clean out here in the basement. And yeah, so the customer decided to go ahead with our jetter. We just got done jetting, and there's things of note in this video inspection, and I'll come across them when I get there. What we're looking at is the Spokane City Sewer. The customer is responsible for everything from the city sewer back to the house. This being a shared line, it's a little bit of a unique situation. As I pull back, you'll be able to tell where the bottom of the pipe is by where my light is, and also by where the water is flowing. I'm going to give you footage coming back from the city sewer, and I'm going to start pulling back. We're going to see debris in this line. This line is not very stable. We were jetting, and we were coming across places where there was cracks and breaks in the pipe. Chunks of the pipe chipped off the sides of the walls of the pipe, and it's been brought to my attention that has to do with the vitrification process of the clay. What we're looking at is a clay tile pipe, and what you can see here is a joint. Joints seem to be the most problematic areas in clay tile pipes. Over time, the ground settles, the joints offset, or they become separated. This joint has a little bit of both going on. You can see a bit of water pooling up. The bottom of the pipe is actually in the top right-hand corner, and that little bit of a pool is because the offset stair steps up. Now, when they stair step down, the flow of water is not really prohibited, but being that it stair steps up, that's just a very minor offset. But you can see how water can pool. There's a separation there. The pipe literally just pulls away from the pipe right next to it. Over time, the ground settles, and it's kind of like Mother Nature, right? We fall victim to her, just kind of like this winter. We're 9 feet from the city sewer. There's another joint there. Going to continue to pull back here. Here you can see a very large separation. That's earth that you see coming through there. There was roots here. We just handled the roots, annihilated them, as I'd like to say. You can see those chips, the chips of the pipe. I've never seen a clay tile pipe react like this, but I mean, I think it has to do maybe with the production run of the pipe, amount of time the pipe's been in the ground, how old it is. But as far as the roots go, you will see a couple major intrusions because we were unable to jet that section for scare of really damaging the pipe and even collapsing it. So, I mean, that was kind of an executive decision. We didn't want to, break the pipe. And you can see here, you can see where literally the pipe has just been scoured by our jetter, and very clean. Those little chips are of no consequence, really. It's when the pipe starts breaking off in bigger chunks, as you can imagine, that becomes a bit more problemsome. But as you can tell, most of the joints are pretty cleaned up. Almost, pretty much every single joint coming out had roots in it. We just took our time and went to each joint with the jetter and jetted. We started seeing a bit of debris in the line, gravel and such, and we had to hold back. This one right here we hit, and because of the deterioration of the pipe, we chose to move on from this. This root intrusion is very large. That root there, it would have took a few minutes with the jetter at that point, and it's like risk reward, high risk and low reward. Going to continue to pull back here. We're about 28 feet from the city sewer. Another joint. Continue to pull back. You're going to see some debris. That's a little bit of root debris in there, and we flushed the toilet a few times and tried to push it all out. There's what's left of that root intrusion. I'm going to continue to pull back here. There's another. It looks right here like another line ties in here. We're about 32 feet from the city sewer. Looks like another line ties in right here.
Yep.
And there's a large root growth coming down through there. Bit of roots hanging on there. And we got what we got right here is
roots coming through the pipe.
Roots coming right through the pipe. It looks like it could be a break there or a crack. We're going to start getting into the stuff of note that I was talking about earlier on in the video inspection. Continue to pull back here. A little bit of roots hanging on. Again, it was risk reward. How long do we want to sit at the joint with pressure? Continue to pull back. Yeah, the side of the pipe just was scoured. Chips of the pipe. The pipe is deteriorating greatly. We're about 39 feet, and there's what you can see is our first rock. So when there's rocks in the pipe, somewhere in this pipe, there's a break or a large enough hole to allow a rock to penetrate the pipe and get in there. We saw that's reason for concern. My guy Randy, we had to hold back and not jet. There's another one there, pretty large one. Continue to pull back here, and this is the area that I was talking about where we started seeing this, and we started pulling back with the jetter, holding off a bit. Continue to pull back. We're about 42 feet. As you can see, there's large debris in the pipe.
Piece of pipe right there.
A piece of pipe at your bottom left-hand corner. Continue to pull back here. A lot of debris and gravel. This was the cause for concern. We even have a little earthworm up at the top of the screen there. He's hanging out, and you can see right there it's our top left-hand side of the screen, which is the right-hand side of the pipe. It seems to be a hole in the pipe, a break. Continue to pull back now. That's where most of that debris is coming from. Continue to pull back here. My camera lens is 1.5 inches thick. We like to use that as a measuring tape for some things in the pipe, debris and such. Now with normal water usage, that should be able to be washed out. Continue to pull back here. And this was the root intrusion that we literally seen just breaking right through the pipe there at the top left-hand side of the screen, which is the right-hand side of the pipe. And when we saw that, we took a further look there. Also, again, at the, see my camera drop. Chunk of pipe missing there. Continuing to pull back. And these are the root intrusions where we ended up we just had to pass them with the jetter. We didn't want to risk more of what we just saw in the pipe. And as I'm pulling back, you can see this root intrusion has literally just grown right through the pipe. You can see it looks like a pretty substantial break. You can see how the pipe at the right hand side kind of drops down, stair steps down. That's either a very severe offset or a breakage. You can see there at the right hand side of the screen, as I pull back, do you see that? That's the edge of the pipe, and it just stops, and the other pipe starts a stair step down. This could be a break. I mean, that's a very large root intrusion. You can see how it's almost lost its shape there as you follow the edge of the pipe to our left. And we have a little bit of water running through the pipe. That could be the neighbor there at 3024. She's a little bit of an elderly woman. And 3028 is actually taking care of all this, the bill and things for her today at the jetter. I just wanted to note that as well. We're going to wait for a second for this water to go by. But as I was saying, this is a very, very large root intrusion. So much so that it would be hard to think that this could just grow right through a joint. There could be a severe breakage here. We're about 46.5 feet from the city sewer. Continue to pull back. The size of the roots themselves are very large. Another root intrusion here. That's actually a chunk. That's actually just a hanger-oner. We annihilated these roots, but there was some we just didn't feel comfortable getting after. Here's another one. With that break and the debris in the line, we chose to hold off on this. There's just a little bit of debris there.
TP.
Yeah, a little bit of toilet paper. Those two root intrusions are the ones we just held off on. We didn't feel comfortable. This guy too as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we didn't turn the jet on that guy. Continue to pull back. Debris in the line. We're about 53 feet from the city sewer, and I think this is right where we transition back up into the main line for 3028. So up to this point, that was a shared line for 3024 and 3028 West Euclid. As I pull back and transition now, we're pulling into the main line straight for 3028. I'm going to start pulling back. You can see the work even that the jetter did on this pipe as well. Those whiffs that you're seeing, that's methane gas. Kind of a cool thing we always like to note. Try to be very informative here at Bulldog Rooter. Continuing to pull back here. Yeah, you can see how our jetter, we didn't even have it up to 3. We had this at 1 and 2, and you can see the as far as our levels of pressure for our machine, and you can still see the how we scoured the pipe right here at the top of your screen, which is the left-hand side of the pipe. Looks like a piece of pipe is missing there. Doesn't look too substantial, but definitely is cause for concern moving forward in the future. Continue to pull back. We're about 61 feet from the city sewer. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a footage of this this main line for 3028. So 54 feet even from the city sewer back is where 3028 starts. I just wanted to get an exact footage of 3028's main line. Continue to pull back here. Sorry about that, folks. Passing 60 feet now. Just a piece of root hanging on that'll wash out over time. Passing 61 feet now. Continuing to pull back. Another piece of root. This pipe was just overgrown with roots, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, those 3 sections that you saw still hanging on, that was almost every section. You can see the amount of debris that is in the line still. It's remarkable. Guys just hanging on there. Continuing to pull back here. And this is a pretty good separation there. Worked that a bunch at level 1 on our machine. And here, this is a very large separation. It even looks like the pipe upstream there's a chunk missing there, and it stair steps up. Continue to pull back here. Passing 73 feet now. 19 feet into 3028. Continue to pull back here. A little bit of roots hanging on there. Continue to pull back here. 80 feet from the city sewer. There's looks like what's a rock right there. That's a pretty large separation. You can see a separation when those joints pull away from each other. You can see the earth coming in. Like I said, the most problematic area for tile pipes are the joints. Continuing to pull back here. We are 85 feet from the city sewer right now, and this is a pretty large. This is where we transition from tile to cast. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and this is a pretty big offset. I mean, you can see there's gravel and chunks of rock in the pipe. You know, that's
still tile.
not good. That's cast iron.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah.
Cast iron pipe here. That on the bottom, what you're seeing there is just a pit from the cast iron and debris building up. That's normal with cast iron. Continuing to pull back here. Passing 90 feet right now. Cast iron usually stubs out from the foundation 3 to 5 feet. Like I said again, this is just old rust debris. The water literally makes a valley down the cast iron. Continue to pull back. Like I was saying, cast iron stubs out from the foundation 3 to 5 feet and ties into the line, in this case being tile line. Cast iron's life expectancy is very, very old, 150, sometimes 200 years. Even tile's life expectancy is 100, 150 years. It's got a long life expectancy. It's good pipe if it's laid correctly and fired correctly. Continuing to pull back here. About 106 feet from the city sewer. And we should be coming out the clean out now. Again, my name's David Lane. I'm out here with Randy Shinneman and Brandon Redler. Today's date is February 9, 2017, and this will conclude your video inspection. Thanks for choosing Bulldog Rooter.